Hey guys, Thunderset here. Sorry about the late upload today. My router decided to die on me, and I won't be getting a new one for 3 or 4 days. So we're here recording on site at the homie's house, getting the decks in, keeping it daily. Gotta always get it in. So what we're running today is a free-to-play version of Aromages. So I didn't want to just make the same Aromage deck I always run with the new card. And I really want to get these Aromages out of the way before all the new box came out, and the new box is already out, so we're already behind. And I still haven't gotten a third copy of Aromage Cananga from the card trader, so we're running one Botanical Girl. If you have 3, obviously put 3. I haven't been lucky. It's been like 5 days and I still haven't gotten my third. So anyway, it's a pretty generic Rosemary, Rose Whip, and Jasmine build. You're obviously going for Rosemary, the Synchro monster. Rose Whip's working as a junk synchron with what grows in the graveyard, but it's very accessible. It's only a normal version versus junk synchron, who's ultra rare. Everything else is normal. These are all card trader except Botanical Girl, but like I said, place out with a third Cananga once you get her from the card trader. And everything else is card trader. You can get enemy controllers with your tickets. You can get them from farming Kaiba. Super easy. This card, the Spell of Absorbing Life, super important now. We really need it in this deck. So it's a free heal. You can choose when to use your heal during your enemy's turn, during your turn. It's huge. Very important in this deck now, especially the free-to-play version. But it's all normal. You can get these from auto duels of standard duelists. So other than that, we have a Black Rose Dragon snuck in there. But pretty much you're always bringing out Rosemary. And it's actually way better. Cananga, I should go over what she does. When your life points are higher than your opponent's face-up monsters your opponent controls lose 500 attack. Excellent. They lose defense also. Once per turn, if you gain life points, target one spell or trap card your opponent controls, return it to the hand. Also excellent. She's gaining tons of points with Aroma Garden and your Rosemary Synchro. She gets up to like 2400. Absolutely crazy. So I hope you guys enjoy the replays. Sorry about the late upload. The next few days it's going to be later uploads like this until I get a new router. But till then, thanks for watching, guys. Okay, so we're fighting a Taya here. We're going first. That's not too bad with Aromages. You can set up the field pretty nicely with your Jasmine. So we're fighting Duel Standby. You guys have been seeing this deck. I made a copy of this deck. It's everywhere. Hopefully he doesn't get his Awano out immediately. We start with a Jasmine, because we've pulled into a garden. Normal summon the Jasmine. Gain 500, she lets you draw. And as long as your life points are higher than your opponent's, which they are, you get a normal summon, not just another Aromage, another plant. So here we summon our Rose Whip, which is actually a Naturia card. Get our Dark Verger effect. That's going to give us Aromage Rosemary. Sorry, she's Aromatherapy. Such a weird word. End our turn. She does a 3 set. Ends her turn. So that's telling me it's not the Awano version. This is the Parshath version. We use our field spell, activate our Jasmine effect, activate our Rosemary effect. He activates Rebirth of Parshath. It is a Parshath deck. Reveals Wiretap. Throws away World Legacy. So, you know, it's pretty out there deck. Summons his Parshath. Jasmine's effect lets us normal summon a Cananga. Rose Whip Synchro summons another Rosemary, so we don't even care. Our field's even stronger now. Kanaga's making him lose 500. Rosemary's making us buff way up to 2400. He has to pull out his World Legacy Clash. Aims for our Rosemary. Cananga, such a weird name, gets to attack. She's down to 200 life points. Parshath comes back, still debuffed by Cananga. Brings out an Artemis, swings into Rosemary, kills her. We're still okay. We still have our Spell of Absorbing Life, which is going to allow us to return a card. But here, Kanaga's going to return a card just off the Rosemary Destruction, which gets healed by Garden. So tons of going on, as you can see. A second Cananga. The effect totally stacks. Each monster's losing 1,000 points. They're up to a healthy 1,900. We're going to get 2 return to hands. One's a World Legacy, gets rid of the Artemis. Does not chain the second. We sell the 1900 for lethal. Super crazy, beating super popular recent decks, guys. Free to play. So So here we go, fighting an Officer Trudge. That's potentially beatdown. It took me forever to get beatdown on Trudge. I only got it recently. It's crazy. But here we are, going second. What Gross in the Graveyard always shows. Not the best hand, just a double econ. We have a Jasmine and a Rosemary. Our opponent just passes his turn. That's how you know he's using a heavy monster deck. We swing with our Rosemary. Now our life points are above our opponent's. We're getting all the Aromage effects. We still have that double econ. He sets one. We get a Rose Whip, top deck. Summon in Dark Verger. That's our Rosemary. 2500, 2300. We attack with the normal Aromage Rosemary because it negates effects. But it's a Stone of Ancient anyway. Hit him with 2500. Super easy against a Brick Eyes White Dragon, guys. Alright, here we are fighting a Tyranno Hassleberry. His event is still going on as of the day I'm recording this. We're going second. He does not have an extra deck. So what could his deck be? It's probably dinos of some sort. So we're starting with a Rose Whip. No way to heal though, just an enemy controller. He double sets. Still no way to heal. Get our Rosemary, set our econ. Go to attack. He's actually running Trap Monsters, summons Tiki Soul. 1800 defense, we do nothing. Sets another card, obviously a trap. We brick again, get another Rose Whip, so might as well summon it. We don't even have our meaties in this deck, it's just full Rosemary and then outside of the level 5. So we're bringing out a Black Rose Dragon with the Rosemary. We get the visual because we're using Akiza, so I'll go ahead and let that play. It's one of the cooler ones. Because they actually put effort into the background of this one. You can see like all the trees and stuff. Super cool. Bring out the Black Rose. Sorry, I paused the game. Destroy the whole field, all his cards. He still has 2 in his hand. We have 3 in our hand. Now he has 3. So we're matched in resources, but his are a little slower. So all we really need is a way to heal, and of course we top deck it. We get our Aroma Garden. Bring out our Cananga. Once we heal, she's going to let us return that trap card to his hand. Must have been a battle trap. We're up to 1900. Get to swing. So any kind of battle trap, he's never going to be able to get it off because we're going to be able to heal every turn. So see, he sets one. We're going to be able to heal, return it to hand. He can't chain it because it's a battle trap. Swing in. Bring out another Rose Whip just to overkill. He scoops. There you go, guys. Okay, we're fighting a Luna. Still no idea what that is. Probably a Synchro deck. Going second again. So tons of turns going second. Like I said though, your first turn plays aren't that bad. Oh, Luna gets Grit. Okay, so fighting Grit. Probably a Metaphys deck if it's Grit. Let's see. You betcha. So he opens up with Golden Sarcophagus or Gold Sarcophagus. 2 Gold Sarcophagus. Gets rid of 2 Daedalus. Sets 1. You know it's a dimension. Waste 2 Daedalus Banish. Makes no sense. Banishes his Metaphys. Then banishes his Tyrant Dragon. Weird way to set up your board. You could have saved those for the dimension, but I've just been playing too much Metaphys, so we normal summon our Jasmine, use Aroma Garden, lets us draw into our trap, summon the Rose Whip, thanks to Jasmine's effect. Doesn't have to be Cananga, doesn't have to be anything. Go with the Rosemary. Now we're already swinging for lethal, but remember he has Grit, so although we hit for lethal, he survives with Grit, still has 1 life point, still has his face down, gets to blow his effects in the next turn. So, activates his Metaphys. You know what Metaphys does. I'm not going to go over every little thing. I've made lots of Metaphys videos. So his Tyrant Dragon's going to let him special summon though. Here he comes. Daedalus. Daedalus is going to banish all special summon monsters, so I decide to chain the spell of Absorbing Life. It's going to heal us 1200. Here he activates his Metaphys dimension in his main phase. Then an Ace of Metaphys. I decide that's the point where I want to pop the enemy controller and get rid of my Jasmine. So we're going to take over his Daedalus. He banishes another Daedalus. This guy runs 3 Daedalus. And then banishes our Aroma Garden with the chain. So it's looking bad for us, right? But nope, we top deck another Rose Whip. Super easy. He banishes a Metaphys on our turn. We come at him with a second Rosemary. She's going to be just 2500. Probably a waste to do that. We could have just set the Jasmine. But he loses his Daedalus in the end phase. That lets him banish the Rosemary. We just came out, so kind of a misplay, but it doesn't really affect affect us because we kind of want to save the Jasmine and the Cananga together as one play, because we have way more life points than he does. So we're always going to get that normal summon. I don't think we could possibly ever get less life points than 1. So here he summons his Lupine, banishes 2, hits us for 1700. We're still back at 4000. No problem. Spell of Absorbing Life, Daedalus, all these things. We have nothing on the field, so nothing he can really do to us. Switches his own Lupine to defense. Gets one more Metaphys banish, gets one more Daedalus banish. These duels take forever. This is why the climb was so hard when I got King of Games with Metaphys. Every duel takes like 10 minutes. It's absolutely crazy. So he's still banishing while I'm doing all this talking. Now I get to go. Summon the Jasmine. Summon the Cananga. Everything's at 0. Now that it's at 0, our tiny little Jasmine with 100 attack can swing over it, which means Cananga can go for lethal, no problem. Super easy, guys. No problem. Okay, so here we are fighting a Chaz Princeton. I have no idea what this deck was. Go in second. Because what could Chaz be? Chaz doesn't really have any relevant specific skills, so it's got to be basic. But even then, he doesn't have any good basic ones. So we don't see his skill. It turns out to be Cyberdark. Uses a Cyberdark Edge. Here again, we're not even pulling like super sick hands. We don't have a way to heal ourselves. Still don't even top deck a way to heal ourselves. This deck is a little monster heavy, but I feel it's okay because of the tuner. Tuners aren't exactly functioning as normal monsters. So he goes with the Rose Whip. Come out with Rosemary. Swing over at Gaia. Such a weird first turn for a Cyberdark deck. But you never know. So now we're over his life points, as you can see. We have our enemy controller for this Cyberdark Edge. He swings in. We use the enemy controller. Now we're going to follow up. Look, another monster. So we're not even really popping off with this deck. But we're going to follow up with the top deck Rose Whip. Get a second Rosemary out. We're going to be able to double swing over this guy. Throws a Ling Ling to the graveyard. Both 3,000 because they're playing off each other's effects here. That's how they climb up to 3,000. She's like raising the other by 500 each and each. And if we would have brought out a Cananga before the opponent scooped, she would have been up to 2,400. Even more if we got a Roma Garden, and then it would have been 500 all of his monsters, which is pretty much adding 500 to our monsters. Pretty crazy. The point of the deck though is it's free to play, super accessible, pretty much all card trader cards and just normal rarity cards, guys. Use your tickets. I'm sure everyone has econs at this point. But yeah, sorry about the delay again, guys. Thanks for watching. It'll be a little better in the future. I'll get a new router, and thanks again. See ya.